My name's Hillary Mount. I'm the director of the Inpatient Service here at Christ in our residency. I'm trying to tell you a little bit about myself. I grew up in Springfield, Ohio, went to undergrad in Arkansas, and then came back here for medical school and residency, and then joined on as faculty. But my most important job is that I'm mom to 3 girls, 4, 6, and 9, and we live in Madeira.
Hi, so I'm Michael Putnam. I'm one of the inpatient attendings here at the Christ Hospital UC Family Medicine Residency Program from Chicago. And my wife and I have 2 beautiful children, ages 3 and 1, who are a complete handful. And I also precept in the outpatient clinic as well, so you'll see me both on the inpatient and outpatient side.
We have 3 teams, A team, B team, and C team. We're very original around here. But the A and B teams are faculty staffed with residents covering patients. I tell people it's like Grey's Anatomy, only we're all less attractive. No offense. But then the C team is an overflow system. So we don't have caps on our teams. We don't have caps on our service. But we do have a faculty kind of safety net in case the service gets busy to offload residents so that the educational value is still there and they're not just in the hamster wheel trying to run through patients. They hopefully have time to pause and learn about their patients and take good care of them. And it's a night float system, meaning that there is always a resident covering the night call. So the day team will take call till 7 p.m. with about an hour overlap. And they adjust and rotate that call. But there's a night float system in place and a float system on the weekend. So Friday and Saturday night, someone from off service will come and float and take the admissions overnight. So there's always someone here 24/7. The interns and really all residents have a fairly large amount of support. There are multiple safety levels or layers there, including a jeopardy system. There's always an attending on call with you via phone, but the interns are never in the hospital alone at this point. They are always with an upper level or a senior resident. So when they are on night float or a week of nights or floating, they would always have that in-person layer of support as well as the attending backing them up. The patient population at Christ is an interesting mix of local community folks as well as more of the suburban crew that will come down. So Christ Hospital has an excellent reputation in town in a lot of different subspecialties. It has a beautiful facility that has been used in a couple of major motion pictures because of how impressive it is. So it actually draws from a pretty broad swath of patients. So you'll see everything from kind of the suburbanite coming down for a hip replacement or a hip fracture repair, to someone, without insurance that is here that we take care of in one of our underserved settings, such as the drop-in clinic or the racetrack clinic, things like that. And then obviously our clinic patients as well, which is a higher proportion of Medicare, Medicaid patients.
On the inpatient service, we see everything. We see your bread and butter admissions, CHF, pneumonia, strokes, cellulitis. Sometimes we get very complex admissions where we're the primary care doctor and we coordinate that care. So we're dealing with many different consultant teams, managing care throughout the hospital. But it's neat to be the primary team, the primary face that provides comfort and continuity to patients when it can be scary and disorienting to be in the hospital. And we pride ourselves on providing that holistic and integrative care that makes patients feel supported when they likely have a loss of control while they're admitted.
Family-centered rounding is a style that we're very committed to that really puts the patient in the center of our information sharing on rounds. So it challenges us to unlearn some of the jargon that we spent years in medical school learning, but the goal is that we're presenting the information to the patient at their level to include them in their care so that they understand what's going on as best we can if they want to be involved in that discussion. so that when they get home and their neighbor says, "Hey Mary, what were you doing in the hospital?" they can explain that, because we've been able to describe heart failure in a way that makes sense to them. The specialists at Christ are a great mix of, and we consider them extended faculty, and a lot of them will take on that role readily as well. But it's a different vibe. It's an academic-ish institution in that they love to teach and they love to be around residents. But you're not having to go through the fellow and the senior and the GI intern to get to the doc, the attending. So they don't mind personal texts or calls. They're very friendly. They're community docs that rely on us for referrals, essentially, and so they're more than happy to take direct calls from residents and direct questions.
Working on the Inpatient Christ Hospital service is a great experience. So I'm one of the faculty, but not too long ago I was one of the residents who came through the program, and it was always an intense experience, but a very good learning experience. When you're in it, you're in it. And I felt like I did some of my best learning on the inpatient service. And now as one of the faculty, it's a joy to be a member of the team. I have excellent colleagues, and really the true joy of the service is caring for patients, but doing so with residents. There's just such a team camaraderie as we care for folks as they get admitted, and we care for them. You know, there's no distinction between the IM service or not, or ours. We admit them. If they have a family medicine doc within our boundaries, we admit them and care for them. So we do it all, and it really is a joy to provide that care.
We are technically an opposed residency. We are a community hospital that has an academic feel because we are an academic residency, or University of Cincinnati, that is housed at this community hospital, Christ Hospital. By opposed, we mean that there are other residencies in the hospital, but there is no direct competition or divvying up of patients between the two services. We admit for patients that whose primary care provider is a family physician, and the other internal medicine residency admits for those that have an internal medicine primary care physician, and so there's no competition or turf wars over patients. We have a separate service that is run with your family medicine attendings. So the faculty bring a lot of enthusiasm and love of teaching, and I feel like that's what drew me in when I was a resident. That's what kept me here as faculty, that we really value the fact that you trusted us to educate you. And the enthusiasm, the excitement, the curiosity, and pushing to always learn something new is really infectious and energizing, and that's part of why I stay on as faculty, is because I just love working here.